Well, hello there. That's nice. Hello.
Yes. Hi, Andrew.
Yes. I got a question for you.
Oh, I love questions.
Did you know that you should never brush your teeth with your left hand?
Oh, how come?
A toothbrush would work better.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Let's start the show. Aha.
Oh, it's my
Hold on.
Orenthal pose.
There we go.
Orenthal.
Hey, hold on. I gotta change. See, I gotta get situated. There we go. Hey, everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
Welcome to the Nonsense Zone. I'm Andy Biggs, and I have a beard.
Hello, Andy. You do have a beard.
This man over here is Lenny Bruce.
There he is. You know, what was I going to say? Oh, the last episode, I was doing the old whirly gig.
You were.
I did it more times than I realized, and I was like, I might have Tourette's.
That's why I asked you after the show. I was like, is it possible that we've been friends for almost 40 years and I never realized you were on the spectrum?
Yeah, it was just kind of
twirling.
It was kind of fun. Like when I was like, look at me, Andy. And I did it a couple more times. I'm thinking, I might have an underlying problem.
It's possible. It's possible.
I could always only hope.
So this is episode 22 of the Nonsense Zone.
Yeah. It's 21.
Right. 21. Episode 21 of the Nonsense Zone.
Yeah. See, your math is all out of proportion. And you know who you have to blame for that, Andy?
Who's that, Len?
Our high school math teacher. Remember our high school?
He knew we were going to blame this on him.
I thought about that guy the other day. I don't know why. And I was thinking, we were intimidated by some of the weirdest people as kids.
Yeah.
I mean, our math teacher was 100 pounds soaking wet, angry little gnat. And we were very intimidated by him because he was known to be a no-nonsense, angry little feller. But you stop and think about it. We were bigger than him.
Even I was. Yeah.
And what we should have done with that man is butt flossed with him. We should have taken control of him and butt flossed with him.
I knew this was going to happen.
You knew it was coming. You know, like them them 2-man saws and antique saws.
Yep.
One of us should have grabbed him by the ankles and the other one by the hair of the head and give him a butt flossed with him.
So the running joke for the last 25 or more years has been there was one time where he just tore into us. I think it was like half the class was unprepared didn't do our homework and whatnot, and he just let us have it. And I think that was the day he tossed one of the students, like flipped him across the room. But anyways, he was chewing. It might even have been me. I don't remember. But then he turned at the last second. He says, "You know who else? I think I was the one. Who else I'm watching?" Because he was yelling at somebody and says, "You know who else I'm watching? Is you." And I think it was me. And he's like, and then he whipped out the line. I took mind reading 101, and
He did.
and for the rest of our lives since that moment, it's been whenever his name comes up, it's like, oh, he knew this was going to happen. Yeah,
I knew it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he pointed out a young feller by the name of Gerald, and he gave I know what you're thinking, Gerald.
Oh, it was him that he pointed at then for the
maybe it was
mind reading
yeah.
line. Yeah, I think it was him then.
He drew him out of the crowd. He gave I took mind reading 101. Mind reading. Whoa, we should have butt flossed with that little fool.
Well, he physically tossed a young man named Riley.
Riley, yes.
Threw him across the room, knocked some
Dragged
desks
him up.
over. Well, Riley grabbed him first.
He gave I don't like people touching me.
And he's like, let go of me, Riley. Let go of me. He's like, and then
Riley
ended up just, boom, had enough. Tossed him.
Yep, dragged him out of the classroom. I'm thinking, that little gnat. We were intimidated by that mathematical fool.
Mm-hmm.
What an idiot.
Actually has a hell of a sense of humor. Years later, bumped into him. I didn't acknowledge him or flag him down or anything, which I like the guy, but I don't know. I just don't do that. And I saw him at the movies, and he sat right behind me, and we were watching Old School, and he laughed and laughed when Old School first hit theaters. Yeah.
Well, that's just because he was picking on you from behind.
Probably, yeah. He wasn't even looking at the screen.
Look at this guy. Look at him. I should have butt flossed with that little motherfucker.
That's what his wife said when she was when I kept hearing his wife say, "Watch the movie."
Yeah, pay attention to the movie.
I didn't get it. I never got it.
Shut up, butt floss. This is where Willy Wonka tells him to lick a pineapple. It tastes like a pineapple.
In Old School?
Oh yeah. I guess they must have deleted that scene out.
That was in the director's cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I was. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Willy Wonka wanted people in the room to lick the wallpaper.
Yeah,
you don't do that. That wouldn't fly nowadays with all the germs, germaphobe. Lick a pineapple. What if you wanted to lick a pineapple and I wanted to lick a pineapple? We'd be
recommended. Yeah, it would. Yeah, that would health violations, and the FDA would get involved.
Imagine what else Willy Wonka wanted them to lick.
Oh my!
Oh, yeah, Charlie!
Again, the director's cut. Yeah, he didn't give him that factory just because he made it to the end.
Yeah, right. Grandpa Joe's like, "What can I lick? I want to lick something." The guy laid in bed for 30 years until Charlie got the golden ticket.
Charlie already had the golden ticket because when it came to holidays and shit, his both sets of grandparents were in the same fucking bed.
They were in the same.
He didn't have to go to this grandparent and this grandparents. I mean, he just had to walk across the room.
That's right. Charlie had it made.
He had the golden ticket before.
They were swingers. Before swinging was cool. They were in bed together for like 30 years.
Yes. There's stuff going on under those covers.
I mean, Grandpa Joe got a little something going on.
Tickling.
Well, Charlie.
And that was just the grandfathers.
Yeah. You know what I got that tastes like a pineapple?
It's good practice.
Yeah, Charlie, how about a sponge bath? Grandpa Joe, scratch it and sniff. We would have been class acts if we were in charge of producing, because you don't see Scratch and Sniff anymore. Remember, Scratch and Sniff was kind of a stickers.
You are the last person I want developing a Scratch and Sniff anything.
But you had to scratch it. Everything
you scratch is going to smell like rotten eggs.
Yeah. And one of the most popular things I remember Scratch and Sniff was the stickers were pickles.
Oof.
A lot of it was a scratch. I remember a pickle was a pretty popular Scratch and Sniff.
Gross.
What would you prefer? Like nowadays, what would be Scratch and Sniff? And why?
Asparagus. So I don't know.
Scratch is funny just to think about Scratch. All the things you scratch. And then they want you to sniff it to confirm it smells like what they claim it smells like.
Well, did you ever try they were Harry Potter's magic beans? Then I think they just called them magic beans. Did you ever do the guessing game where you refuse to look and see what they are and all right, name what this is? I got the vomit one once.
You turned me on to that. We did it at your place.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, but no, got the vomit one, and it tasted like I threw up. Yeah,
just like Harry Potter's vomit.
Mm-hmm.
Those were great.
So now I know what Harry Potter's vomit tastes like.
They had grass. They had boogers. Was it boogers?
There was boogers. There was earwax. There was grass. There was dirt.
Cock and balls. I remember. I got cock and balls.
There was cock and balls. Yeah.
Hagrid? Is that Hagrid? Hagrid. Professor Dumbledore.
This is a penis.
Hagrid.
I've never actually seen any of the Harry Potters. So sorry. I ruined it. You ruined our vibe. Hey, did you know that Pat Sajak, he retired?
He did.
He stepped down. No longer the host of the Wheel of Fortune, or still watching reruns, but it gives him more time to do the things that he loves in life, which apparently is stand out in front of my house and yell racial slurs at me whenever I step outside, which is odd.
I'll buy you a vowel, you fuck.
So I wanted to ask you, Len, now that Pat Sajak has all this time on his hands, what do you think he's going to do with all that time?
Make love to his hand.
Yes, that's the answer. It's always the answer.
Pat Sajak's going to look back and think to himself, I'm pushing 80 years old, and I'm wealthy. I'm well off, but I spent a majority of my days standing in front of a fucking carnival wheel and asking people to choose vowels and letters. And
think about some of the jobs we've had, Len.
True. Yeah.
I mean, and we got paid peanuts. He's a millionaire for being that in front of that carnival wheel.
Yeah.
Many times over. Just means
that's true.
God doesn't like us.
It's a damn good possibility.
It's like the discussion we were having right before we went on air, just looking at ourselves in the mirror. We can't do this anymore. I
don't want any part of it.
Nope. we're in our mid 40s, and looking in the mirror is never a good idea at this point of our lives.
Yeah,
that's why I grow a beard now, because I have to cover as much of my face as I can.
Wait till you shave it.
Oh no, that's never a good idea. That never goes well.
That's the scary part. You grow a nice big fluffy beard, and a couple of years later you shave it off. You're like, oh fuck, I gotta grow that beard back.
What the hell was I thinking?
What an idiot!
You look like the guy. Was actually a good time for me because masks are encouraged.
Sometimes they came in handy. Masks came in super handy sometimes. You will eventually look like the old man that salted the sidewalks on the movie Home Alone.
Some probably say I already do.
Oh, speaking of old men,
Oh,
Andy and I bumped into each other last weekend, which was a nice, pleasant, unexpected surprise.
At Sam's Club.
Sam's Club.
Getting groceries.
What's next? A thrift store? Are these my size? Andy, trying to hide behind a set of capris. Oh my God, he's gonna catch me at the thrift store. I'm having lunch at Sam's Club, for crying out loud.
I didn't want to. I was literally walking by the little cafeteria area of Sam's Club, which Sam's Club is just like a Costco, for other parts of the country. And I was literally having the thought, like, Jesus, there's a lot of people there eating pizza at Sam's Club. Who the fuck comes to Sam's Club and decides to dine out? And a few minutes later, I'm standing in line. My wife is cashing out. I look over and I was like, that looks like Len's brother. I didn't really think it was Len's brother, but I looked a little closer. It's like, oh. So then I just didn't say a word to my wife, just did the roundabout sneak up on Len.
Sneak attack.
I got the sneak attack.
When me and my brother were getting our fountain drinks, there was this old feller. My brother was grabbing a couple napkins. Of course, you could read through them, so you need 10 of them. And the old guy kind of joked, and he had like one of them retired military hats on. He gave it, hey, only one napkin, and he kind of chuckled. And we're like, yeah, just one napkin. He says, yeah, in the military, you're only allowed one napkin and one square of toilet paper. My brother goes, yeah, he goes, God forbid your finger went through it. So the guy chuckles, and I look over, I go, I always hoped my finger would go through it. So the old guy laughs and he walks away. He must be like, oh, fucking generations gone to hell.
He gave you a chop to the throat.
This is what I did to them pussies in Vietnam. Who wants to go through the one-ply toilet paper? Look here, you won't fuck. It's fun for the whole family.
Yes. I just on the fly. Are you sure you're talking to the snowball, or is your mic pointing at your earbud microphone?
Is that better? Maybe.
Hard to say. Hard to say.
Huh? Well, I could kind of move closer.
Oh no, yeah, you're talking to the. It's a snowball. All right, you're good. I just want to make sure. Just want to, you know.
Oh, I was wondering if you couldn't hear me good.
It seemed like you might have chopped up a little bit, but that's okay. Hey, also had another thought here. Did you know that all koalas, or maybe not all, but most koalas have chlamydia?
Oh, how nice.
Would you like to take a moment to lecture the koalas about being more responsible?
I think I should.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on.
Koalas. They're so cute too. Oh, there I am. See?
No, and you were going to lecture the koalas.
Yep. There I am. See?
You know, they're going to straighten right up now, I'm sure.
If they take my advice,
you let them have it. I mean, those fucking koalas, they're cleaning up their act. Hey, we've got swag now.
Yes, we do.
We do. We have swag. You see, Len is wearing one of our logos. I'm wearing another one. We still have our broadcast logo, which we're not going to change, but that's the one that you're all used to seeing. That.
Mm-hmm.
But
pick up some swag, you filthy fucks.
Yeah, actually, I could. I wasn't planning this, but I could. Let's see. Share screen.
It's not for profit. It's more for
no
advertisement, I guess. I don't
know. So here's our webpage. I don't have a question at the moment. And you just go to Nonsense Zone Swag, and then you can look through. The first round of hats I had sucked, so I took them off the website.
Hey,
yes.
Any chance of getting like stickers? I wonder if there's any like
I can look into stickers,
like little oval stickers or something. Maybe
I haven't looked into that yet, but
maybe
I can look into that.
Sneak them on people's vehicles, like the Riley stickers.
I don't recommend sticking a sticker on somebody's vehicle without their consent. Yeah.
Fuck them, Andy.
Good. That's true. Yeah.
I'll just do police cruisers.
But yeah, so we do have a webpage. It's nonsensezone.com, as you see below us on the screen, and then you just go up to Nonsense Zone Swag. But yeah, now I'm gonna just remove that. And there's some neat stuff on there, and maybe we'll even have a giveaway at some point. You know, the thing is, like Len said, we're not in it to make any money. We just think it would be cool to be like, oh hey, that's a Nonsense Zone shirt, or catch somebody wearing.
You know, I just wanted to say real quick. I wanted to say hello to Jack. I haven't heard Jack hasn't commented in a while, and I always look forward to Jack's comments, and I hope him and his big fat hog are doing just fine.
Jack Sibley and his enormous junk.
Oh, Jack, take it out, Jack. Take it out.
Always one of my favorite people, and definitely get a kick out anytime I get to talk to him, and love the fact that he's a fan.
You ever see his hog?
No.
Oh, no.
Seems like we worked together for a while, and it seemed like I would have. I mean, because that's what happens at work. But
he had to feed it. He had to take it out and feed it once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I know it probably gave him back problems because.
Oh God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's got it in a sling now. It goes around his neck, over his shoulders,
and
holds up at the hog, like suspenders. Hey Jack, is that an eye patch? Oh, shit. We should wear eye patches. You want to wear eye patch?
We could do a show with that. Well, it's gonna be tough since I went blind. I mean, I'd have to do eye patches and the glasses because, you know.
Hey, know what's funny?
My dad always told me that someday I was going to go blind because of that. I mean, he was looking at the wall when he said it, but yeah. But
shit. At the age of 30, all guys are wearing glasses.
It's because they abused themselves a little bit too much during their teens.
Stevie Wonder must have been yanking that fucker right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. I mean, He had 20/20 vision, and then
he tickles
made
the
too much love to
ivory.
his hand. What's that?
He tickles the ivory with the hands that he makes love to. And he's blind. He's blind. What other, what? He mastered playing the piano. Yeah.
Well, was it who was the famous one? It wasn't Bach. It was Beethoven. Beethoven was deaf. How the hell did he play music when he was deaf?
Huh?
What's that? Oh, that takes me back to Airplane. Roger. Huh? Roger?
What? Look, I can play the fucking piano. He's like, what? What?
He's getting all like flamboyant about it too. Like,
yeah, he gets into it. You just saw the people cheering. He got all excited. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Oh yeah. You want more? You got more. You got more. Huh? What? What? Huh? The guy can fucking tickle the ivory like no other, but he can't even hear somebody knocking at the door.
Yeah. It's like last episode. The house is burning down, and he's just they're like trying to warn him, like,
he's in there tickling the ivory. Dun, 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 dun.
See somebody banging on the window and thinking, boy, they're really getting into it.
Yeah, that's when he peeks down and really digs into the ivory. Like, you fucking idiot! Come out of there! He can't hear us.
So, I mean, this is where we're pretty sure that we don't have any deaf listeners.
Oh God! If they are, what? Talk about you'd almost rather be blind and deaf, because when you're deaf, you're always going to be the confused one. Blind, you just sit there and mind your business. They don't know shit. They could hear you, but deaf, they're always, huh? Huh? What?
I don't know.
That would get annoying.
Though.
I don't know if I could be friends with somebody like that. Could you be friends with a deaf guy? My God, listen up, you fuck. Listen to me. Huh? What?
Well, yeah, no, Ryan, there's a story, but I'll leave that out.
What?
I remember you and your nephew traveling with your other nephew who was deaf, and one of you.
I have to tell the story. I have to tell that story.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I would maybe censor what your nephew yelled.
Well, I yelled it.
Oh, you yelled it. Yeah, I would leave that part out.
Okay. I won't say what I yelled. We were driving down the road. I was riding on the far right of the passenger side of this bench-seated pickup truck. Younger nephew in the middle, older nephew driving. I was just riding along. So we're going through the town we live in. Of course, this is before I was the role model citizen that I am today. So we had, yes, indeed. But anyways, so we're driving down the road, and we were forced to come onto the brakes abruptly because, let's just say,
I believe it's just abruptly.
Yeah. Did I add the blah blah? Okay.
Abruptly.
Blah, blah, blah,
Sorry.
Blah, 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 blah. But, so we hit the brakes, and these people were walking across, and they were larger than life and ignorant about it. So my deaf nephew that was driving, we looked over, all three of us were looking over like, the nerve of these people. Well, I leaned forward like this while he was looking out over his left shoulder, and I yelled some explicits, somewhat offensive, but funny. Well, didn't they look over their shoulder? And I leaned back and looked straight ahead while my deaf nephew was still peeking out the driver's side window, taking full blame for what I yelled. So we proceed on, and did they ever shoot a look like?
And all they saw was your nephew going,
oh. So we proceeded on through town, and of course, me and my other nephew laughing hysterically. Well, my deaf nephew, he was just cruising along like, what the fuck are these guys laughing at? Until we told him, he's like, you fucker. That's how he did it. He goes, fuck, you asshole. I was like, hey, I wasn't always the role model citizen that I am today. Yeah, he took it like a champ.
That's one of my favorite stories.
Oh, yes. It panned out. He was right out the window. I was like, the nerve. And he's like, huh? What? What? No, they did. They give a.
Doesn't realize that he was getting blamed for yelling something very offensive at them.
Fucking guy. I can't take him anywhere. Yeah, we did that years ago. A friend of ours, Delbert, and his dad, God rest his soul, my second father. I love him to death. So we're riding down the road coming from somewhere. Well, I'm riding bitch. Well, Delbert's riding bitch. His father's driving. So every second I got, it was summertime, I'd reach out when there's a car coming, I'd wave. Well, so his father would wave at oncoming traffic. About 5-6 cars later, he goes like, oh God, people are awful friendly today. Delbert goes, no, he goes, this fucking asshole over here. He goes waving at everybody on the way by. Oh, he was getting annoyed. He's like, oh, wave. Another car. He's like, oh, geez, people awful fucking friendly today. No, there's moron over here.
It also happened. Delbert's dad also happened to be one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet. So he wasn't gonna deny a wave. Or
yeah. Oh yeah. He honored every wave. You bastard. I don't know why all three of us were bone naked that day, but
it was a day that ended in Y. So
yeah, that's odd. You saw yourself naked today, haven't you?
I have, yeah. We're doing a morning show. We're regular Regis and Kelly Lee or Kathy Lee or whoever. It shows how far behind we are. Regis died 10 years ago, but
what?
Maybe not 10 years ago.
Regis?
A moment of silence for Regis.
Don't fuck him, that little that idiot. I hope he had a wig. I'm hoping he had a wig. He had a wig.
But we're a regular morning show now. Usually I have a couple of brewskis while I'm in, and now I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah, and I haven't busted into a
salsa.
I got a salsa.
Oh, you got a salsa?
Yeah, I figured what the fuck.
Never too early for a salsa. I don't drink alcohol before noon because that's my rationale for saying that I don't have a drinking problem, which is probably something that somebody with a drinking problem would say. But yeah, so
or you could watch the movie 3 Men and a Baby.
I've done that recently.
I saw it was on.
My wife. So my wife is considerably younger than me because I'm a predator. And no,
yes,
it's okay. I got a permission slip from her parents.
Perfect.
Now we're both adults. Anyways, but she had never. Yeah, there's so many movies that she's never seen, and every time I think, shit, you never seen 3 Men and a Baby? I make her come right in and sit down and watch it, and yeah, that was one.
Yeah, I went up to see my parents, and of course, my dad he just sits there and watches TV most of the time. But yeah, it was on. I was like, he's watching 3 Men and a Baby.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it was all right.
Steve Guttenberg.
Steve Guttenberg. Have you seen his mug lately?
Yeah.
He looks more like Florence Henderson.
He actually played a killer in like a recent movie. It was like one of those like sci-fi, like really low budget, straight to TV.
Deaf people set him off, so he murdered them.
Right. That's what it was.
Listen up, you fuck. I'll kill you.
The other one was Major League. I like, shit, you got to sit down and watch Major League.
Major League's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh,
I love Major
Goosebumps.
League.
Every time Wild Thing plays at the end, when they call to the bullpen, the crowd goes crazy. Goosebumps, Lenny. Goosebumps.
Love. Part 2 they could have done without, but the first
horrible.
one's a classic. Yeah. The first one's awesome.
You don't go to see Wild Thing not be able to throw the heater.
He's got to throw the heater. Imagine if they brought back Wild Thing now.
Oh,
the condition Charlie Sheen's in.
He's got AIDS.
The fucking guy got AIDS. He'll come out. He'll play the song. He'll come out in a wheelchair.
He looks rough. Yeah. Well, there's a show that It was created by the guy that created 2.5 Men on HBO Max, and Charlie Sheen did a cameo on it, and I was like, dude, he looked. First of all, clearly fake teeth. I can spot people with dentures because it just changes their face. And yeah, so definitely had that. Just looks like he's 90.
Charlie didn't do well. Nope. No.
And that's coming from me, who looks like I got hit with an ugly stick. The old ugly stick.
Oh, Andy, lick a pineapple, tastes just like a pineapple. Lick a plum, tastes just like a plum. Stop licking your fucking wallpaper. Where's the chocolate? Where is it? And what was
Ask Blueberry over there?
Violet, you're turning violet. What was Willy Wonka doing with all the Oompa Loompas?
Oh, I don't know that we want to know that.
What was he doing with the Oompa Loompas? Ippity doo, they said.
We got another question for you.
He's like, the Oompa Loompas, if you lick a pineapple, it tastes like a pineapple. Right? Oh.
Sorry.
Imagine if they kicked Grandpa Joe out for not being able to hear. Grandpa Joe?
Isn't that's how they got out of the oh no, they burped.
Well, yeah, that's how they cleaned up the whole scene.
Oh, okay. There's another director's cut moment.
You'll shred us to pieces. Quick. Fart, Charlie, fart. Yes, Charlie. Yes, do it again, Charlie. Yes. We're free, Charlie. You're gonna get this chocolate factory. You
saved us. You saved us. One moment, my shoe came untied. I don't want to fall down during the show. Just talk amongst yourselves.
You should have had the Oompa Loompas come tie it.
We had to fire the writing staff. I miss them. Makes the show more difficult.
Yeah.
Also had to fire the Oompa Loompas that I had, which actually were my writing staff.
Yep. So he made it look like he was so friendly to the Oompa Loompas, but they were just rented help.
Mm-hmm.
They were behind the scenes.
Well, you rescued them from an island, and then he put them to work.
Plunge the toilet, you silly fuck.
Wasn't that the story? He rescued them from some island, and
forced them to make all his candy.
Manual labor, like I rescued you. Now get in my factory. And you ever work in a factory? Factory work isn't fun.
They had to drain Violet. Remember? Wait, was it Violet? They had to drain that fat girl.
Yeah,
they rolled her. They rolled her out and drained her. No, she was turning. No, that was the Blueberry girl.
I thought that was Violet.
Was that Violet? I lost track of them silly fucks. Remember the little Dutch kid? The Dutch kid?
Oh yeah, he did. Isn't he the one that fell in the chocolate lake?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I'll ever find out either.
No, probably not.
But I did.
I was just gonna say, we did get into the conversation that I watched. I don't know if everybody is familiar with the fact that Sylvester Stallone recently redid Rocky IV and released it the way he wanted it released. And Len, of course, Len comes back with when I'm telling him about it, and it's really good the newer version. It's called Rocky IV, Rocky versus Drago. And so I'm telling Len about it, and he starts saying, "Yeah, I heard about that." He insisted that he left in all the scenes where he was eating asparagus. Yes, yeah, that was the gist of it. And everybody getting upset or getting disgusted when they'd smell him peeing. Lenny! Oh, this is worse than the snowball knocking over.
I was gonna make like I was Sylvester Stallone taking a stinky pee-pee, but I ruined it.
You ruined it. Anyways, that was that. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but I do have. Hold on, I gotta get to it.
Come on,
I do have. It's graduation week, so I have some facts about graduation and a new thing on the screen. Hey, these aren't so much, the facts themselves aren't funny. It's our job to make them funny, I guess would probably be the way. But I have some facts about the class of 2024. They are younger than Facebook, which launched in 2004. Sony's PlayStation and Microsoft's Xbox have existed their whole lives in one form or another. Most people in the class of 2024 think of Arnold Schwarzenegger as a former politician or a media personality, not as a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that one's dumb.
He fucked a housekeeper.
He did. And the kid that came out looks just like him.
Damn.
No, he really does. I mean, if you saw him, yeah, he's like 9/11 was a part of history for them. And YouTube has always been a part of their lives. Netflix streaming began when they were toddlers. And this is the one that really kind of sunk in. You realize that most people graduating this week, graduating from high school, have probably never heard a busy signal on a phone. Yeah. So conversely, I made some facts about the class of 1996, which Len and I are members of.
Well, you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Payphones. A lot of kids don't even know what the hell they've heard of them, probably seen them maybe in some older movies, but payphones. Mm-hmm. Or collect calls. Remember collect calls?
Oh, I got a few collect calls from you that were gagged.
Hey,
in the middle of the night.
Yeah. It's a good thing you have children now, Andy, because a couple times lately I was like, I couldn't sleep, early in the morning. I'm thinking, well, years ago, I'd call Andy and make noises on the phone.
I used to be an extremely light sleeper, and so I would hear the phone go every time. Now I don't hear it. Yeah.
Oh, Andy, I'll call twice.
There you go.
I heard you got a 25-year-old chinchilla.
I do. The things that people don't realize about chinchillas is that they're immortal. The only way they can be killed is if you cut their head off, and then that brings on what's called a quickening. That's a Highlander mythology, and that or gremlins. That you can't get them wet. You really can't get a chinchilla wet. They'll lick themselves to death or something like that. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. So, but I always say that chinchillas can't get wet because they'll multiply like gremlins or mogwais, and if you feed them after midnight, they turn into little monsters.
You should eat that chinchilla. He's been at 25 years. You should eat him now.
He's my only male ally in this household. I mean, my wife, 2 daughters, one on the way, and a female dog. I mean, that chinchilla is the only other testosterone here.
So deep fry him.
Okay, that makes it better.
Yep, give him some dignity. Deep fry that son of a bitch.
So these are going to be more sad, probably more make us more suicidal than make us laugh, probably. But the class of 1996, the most popular film in 1996, Independence Day.
Never seen it.
You never saw Independence Day? Wow. The Oscar for Best Picture that year went to Braveheart.
Never seen it.
Oh, that's not true. We watched it like 4 times on our senior trip on the bus.
Yeah, but I never
on and on. Yeah, you probably didn't pay any attention, I'm sure. But the Emmy for Most Outstanding Comedy Series, Frasier. The minimum wage was raised to $4.75 an hour. At the time, a movie ticket cost $4.42. Mm-hmm. Dolly the sheep was the first cloned animal. That was a big deal back then. We thought by now that they'd be cloning everything left and right. That's not really happening. The Macarena was the hit song. Everybody was doing. Tom Cruise told us to show him the money in Jerry Maguire.
Never seen it.
Hardly anybody had a mobile phone. Nobody had a smartphone. I don't think they even existed. The number one gift was Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh, I remember people used to trample each other over Elmo.
Oh, yeah. The Kiss reunion tour was the top grossing concert. Never got into Kiss. Yeah.
Fuck them.
And
fucking asshole.
The biggest scam ever was Beanie Babies, and they were popular then. I was dating a girl not long after we graduated high school that probably spent hundreds, if not over $1,000 having the full collection of Beanie Babies, and they would sit up on a shelf, and she's like, they're going to be so valuable someday. You might as well set them on fire. They're not worth shit.
How did that pan out?
She was dumb.
You know what I still have?
And mean. No, I'm sorry.
You know what I still have?
What?
I still have my Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
I still have my Kermit the Frog. That was my when I was my daughter's age.
Oh wow, Kermit.
I won't let my daughter play with Kermit because Kermit's fragile right now. That was my toy.
Yes, stop it. What's your Cabbage Patch name? What's his name?
Do you remember yours?
Oh, I do.
Oh yeah, mine was Carlin Gifford. Well, they came pre-named.
I know.
That. Yeah. Don't judge me. I
don't know if I want to tell anybody. I should have never brought it up.
You got to now. You have to.
Okay. He's got scars on him. I was the youngest of 4 kids. He got beat up, my friend. He got beat up. His
Pretty sure mine did too.
Is Erwin Maurice. And I see that filthy fucker every day.
Oddly enough, that's what I decided to name my unborn daughters.
I'm like, don't judge me, Erwin. Fuck you. Don't look at me like that.
You argue with Erwin every day on your way out.
I told you. It's hot out there. Fuck you, Erwin. Fuck you. You've been judging me my whole life.
I just want to be happy, Erwin.
Erwin's a little battered. You know, like I said, I was a little battered because I was the youngest before. And Erwin took his licks too. And because if they wanted to torment me, they went through Erwin. Out on Erwin.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that as a kid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know most of your siblings. I didn't really know your oldest sister very well, but I know that your next oldest sister was not somebody that I would fuck with. And
I have scars from her. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, Lump is Lump. I don't know that.
Lump, yeah.
I don't think anybody's ever really intimidated by Lump, but
I took my licks from Lump. Yeah.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Well, older brother, younger brother, it's bound to happen. I probably would have been more scared of your sister though.
He went to kick me in the ass one day, so hard that his untied boot flew off his foot and stuck in the ceiling tile. I was never so grateful that I missed that impact.
Oh, I bet. I remember there was a story where you and Lump were sneaking into the house. You're both older at the time, and your dad was like came out, and I remember you did the impersonation of your dad perfect, and it was like, what? Were you moving a mattress or something? Or
yeah, my brother moved. Yep. He was moved out at the time, and he was home for a visit. Well, before he set up the spare bedroom, there was basically a mattress you flop down and made up or whatever. We decided to go out drinking and hanging out. So when we got home, we were shit-faced and silly. So I was just going to go to bed. Well, he had to go down the hallway, which that spare bedroom was right next to my parents. Well, he went sneaking down. Of course, him and I forget it, whether we're drunk or sober. It's just a silly mess, and we can't keep a straight face. So he's in there trying to monkey fuck around with this uncoordinated freaking mattress, slamming around in there while I get laughing. And so he starts laughing. My dad must have woke up and go, "When?" We both went silent. He wasn't like a hard ass or nothing, but we were like, because we went silent, he gave another, "When?" So my brother puts his face into the fucking mattress and just starts crying and laughing. I'm in my bedroom just laughing hysterically, and finally Paps come walking out in his underwear like, huh? He's looking around. At that point, he knew we were both probably just shit-faced and silly, and he's like, fucking went back to bed. He thought there was some kind of prowler in the house. Huh?
Yeah. What it must have been like to be your parent.
Every time he said my name, we laughed harder and harder. I contained it. The first couple, he's like, "When?" I was like, well, the second one, I buried my face into my pillow. I was like, "Oh, whoa, Pat's is awake."
There's so many times that it must have been just like, I mean, I know my parents had their hand full and were put into some weird situations that you never think that you'd have to talk to a kid about. I can only imagine yours, though. I mean, you're
many.
And it's not even that funny, but I just remember my first car, the Duster. My car, more people knew the Duster than knew me, and my car was a legend of our old school. And
remember the ditch?
Just a shit box. Yeah, I mean, it was just a little piece of shit hatchback car. Could not have been a bigger piece of shit. And I remember just working on something with my dad on the car, and he pulled the air filter off, and there was like this much sand in the bottom of the housing, and he just looked at me like, what the fuck? I just shrugged. What are you saying about that?
Well, you should have told him the truth. Well, see, the driveway into the back parking lot of school is over here, and there's a 5 to 6 foot ditch into a sandbar that leads into the back parking lot. Well, I take the shortcut every morning,
every day, and I'd cut the wheel short so it would screech my tires. And there would always be like, because you weren't allowed into the school until 8 o'clock. And so there would be the entire student body standing in the back parking lot. And every day I'd come. It
was a crowd pleaser too. We're like, yes. Oh, yeah.
Every day.
Actually, didn't one of our teachers witness it at one point? Yeah.
Came right over to my car and met me while I was getting out, walked me right to the detention room.
Them filthy fucks. Remember our music teacher was like half man, half woman?
You see a picture of him now, you'd think he's completely woman now.
Dude, he looks like that lady that used to do all the cooking.
And he's not a transitioning person, so I mean, this is just the way he looks now.
Yeah, it's like, well, that fucking guy looks like an old lady now.
Yeah. Yeah, he used to turn us in a lot.
He played his guitar on the MTV.
So
stinking motherfucker. He called a friend out. He called a friend out, and one of our friends for farting in class. And I think I was the one that pointed out because I didn't want to get blamed for it. I was like, he did.
Well, because it was usually you.
Yeah. Remember we all had the headphones on in music class, and he would be able to talk individually or through the whole class. And he called out the farter. He's like, who's the hog? Right. I was like, look, ma'am, mind your business.
Look, ma'am.
Mr. or Mrs. What are you again?
In 1995 or 6.
Hog. That's when the 2-man saw should have came out. Butt floss with that mofug. See, 2 students would have to be the SARs, the butt flossers, and then another a volunteer student had to do the straddle to actually get flossed.
I'm pretty sure that would either be some kind of bullying or assault.
We would have got away with it back then, though.
That was the 90s. It was a different world in the 90s.
I told 2 friends in high school, our instructor, I said, if you guys have the balls to grab a hold of that guy and stick him to the ground, I will nip him. But it never happened because I figured
now you have to explain to our audience what a nip is.
No, a nip is when you drop your pants and you feed somebody's nose inside your touchy. Yeah, right inside your touchy.
Right in the brown eye.
Right in the eye. That's a nip. Yeah. Nip. And I told them, I said, if you guys got the balls to hold him down, I will nip him.
Now,
and I would have.
Was it just to stick it there, or was there a fart involved when you? No,
I think it's just. A fart would just be the icing on the cake if it ever came about. But
I don't think that would be icing, but yeah. But
call it what you will, Andy. Call it what you will.
I count there's a lot of things. I am not a lucky person in any respect, but I consider myself so lucky. I was never on the receiving end of a nip.
Yeah, never nip. Yeah. Now, one fool, we were partying at a camp many years ago, and some idiot that we were friends with.
You're very much coming across as a bully right now. I just wanted to
yeah. We were all friends. We were all friends.
Yeah, that's true.
he claimed in front of a handful of us, and I think Delbert tunes in regularly. He'll remember this.
Mm.
This other friend of ours claimed he'd never be able to get nipped. Well,
Oh,
he
silly.
barely spit it out of his mouth, and the 5 of us grabbed a hold of that silly bastard, threw him to the ground, glasses and all, and nipped him till his glasses were twisted.
Jeez, I don't think I know who that is. We'll have to tell me off air. But
yeah, he was. Shit. See, so I wasn't the only bully. He called us out.
Yeah, you're asking for, if you're challenging people
Yeah.
when you make a statement like that.
I mean, he was a husky guy, but none of us were weaklings, and we tossed his ass to the ground against his will, and we nipped his stupid ass because he claimed he challenged us, Andy.
That was a challenge. You're
challenged
throwing
us.
down a gauntlet when you do that. Yeah.
He turns and says, "There ain't no way in hell anybody would be able to nip me." He went to the ground so fucking fast. He got himself fucking nipped.
Yeah, that's I think really when somebody does something like that, you gotta kind of wonder if they wanted to get nipped.
Yeah, he did put up a fight, but he got nipped.
I mean, you don't throw down a gauntlet with a room full of our friends.
No.
And again, I've said it before. We were like the original Jackass crew. I mean, it was like I said, I ended up leaving school with freaking almost an ulcer, I think, because just you're always like on edge of like, when's it going to turn on me? When is everybody going to like, it's going to happen. It happens to all of us. It was like, you knew that at some point, either your friend, if it's not your friend, there's a good chance it's going to be you. All of the jokes and attention is going to be turned directly on you at some point.
And we were friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We loved each other. Yeah.
We were friends. We loved
there's nothing we wouldn't have done for each other.
Besides pick on each other.
We also tormented the shit out of each other too.
Sometimes I remember
in Len's case, literally.
I remember I just remember when you pulled into the back parking lot when we were old enough to drive ourselves to school. You had to look in the rearview mirror like 10 times to make sure there wasn't shit on your face, fucking hair out of place. You had to make sure you didn't wear the same shirt that week because you were going
to get called out and picked on for it.
You walked into school, like, you wore them shoes yesterday. Like, yeah, like, you idiot.
Remember, Ferd ripped Sneb's shirt off one day. One day. I mean, but luckily Sneb lived across the road from the school. He walked home and got a different shirt, which I don't think would be allowed even today. But it was just walked up and
he saw a little hole in his shirt and he just tore it off him.
Like, Sneb's a big guy.
It's a good thing Sneb was a friendly fella.
It sure is, because he could have murdered a lot of people.
That filthy fuck. Not only was he strong and a bigger fella, but he was fast.
Mm-hmm.
So he got
catch
you. Yeah, he would catch you. I'm gonna get you, Snebble. He would catch you, run you down, and tear your clothes off in front of everybody.
So there was a thing, and just it so different. I mean, as somebody that works in a school, I mean, it's just a different world now. But there was a thing going where Sneb would grab guys in our class, put them in a full Nelson, and pull their shirt up over their head and hold them in a hallway full of students.
No defense.
And Len,
there was no defense.
And
None.
Len was
I was
always the picker. He was always the picker. And not in this instance. Sneb put Len on full display more than once. I remember walking down a hallway and seeing Len and being held. And Len's a big, strong guy. Seeing Len in a hallway full of students just with his shirt up on full display.
I remember at least one encounter. We would wait. We would line up in front of the door to
wait for the bell to ring to get released.
And he gave I'm gonna get you, Snebble. He called me Snebble too. And I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna get me. But I was thinking, well, maybe I could outrun him. No, he got me right before the staircase. No, Snebble.
Probably 200 teenagers walking by witnessing.
Oh yeah, and for no apparent reason, he just went for the full Nelson shirt up. There's no defense. There was none. There's no way out. You just stood there for as long as Snebble wanted to keep you there.
Where the
Which
where
was
the
oddly
fuck
kind
were
of a
the
long
teachers?
time. You know what? They looked on and laughed. There's no doubt.
I think they all hid in their classroom actually. They don't want to see what was going on in the hallway, or they didn't want to be next.
Yeah. That's another thing. I ain't getting butt flossed. I got a 2-man saw thing going on up here. Did you hear what they did to Ron? He even knew it was going to happen.
I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen.
He's just going along for the. He did it again. He just went along for the ride. Did you hear what they did to Ron? But yeah, Snebble was a fast, strong fella, and I would love to have another one of them or witness one.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You know, he still got it in. He still got it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He could definitely throw that full Nelson on somebody. Rip. Yeah. And it'd be even funnier now because we're all old and not in the shape that we used to be. And yeah,
as if he snuck up on you at like Price Chopper or something and got you from behind.
Don't give him any ideas. He works in the same village I live in.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't
I'll be at the little gas station here in town, like paying for something, and I'll just end up with my shirt over my head.
You know, Snebble doesn't know this, obviously, because I would have never had a chance to tell him. But there was a store in Canton, the Sunoco, after they redid it. I walked in there one day on lunch break, and there was a fella ordering a sub. And I hadn't seen Snebble in a while, and I was like, Snebble. I had a soda or some kind of drink in my hand, and I was gonna go insert it in this man's rectum because I was convinced that it was Snebble. Well, to my surprise,
it wasn't Snebble.
It wasn't Snebble. And I was inches away from giving this man a rectal exam with my Sobe bottle. And I got close enough to insert, and I was like, I finally saw at last minute that it wasn't Snebble, but this man's life almost changed.
Well, so as I've touched on, I'm happily in my second marriage, and Glenn was the best man for my first marriage, and there was not one photo that was taken that day where his finger was not jammed in my ass the last second, right before they said, say cheese.
Cheese. Oh,
that and the blowing on my neck in the middle of the ceremony. It was just like everything's serious and whatnot. And all of a sudden I'd feel him lean in and just blow on my neck. They'd be like, duh, I can't laugh. I can't react to this. I can't react. Just like the pictures. I was like, I can't react. I jump a little bit, but
Andy was excited that day. You know, maybe Snebble doesn't even remember this, but there's our senior picture when we all lined up on a bleacher out in the parking lot. Well, I'll never forget that in that picture. I don't know how many pictures were taken before that one that made it, but I was knuckles deep in Snebble Rebel. Not his rectum, but I think I was giving him the old.
In all of these situations, we all had like jeans on. I mean, it wasn't or my suit or whatnot.
It wasn't a touch hole insert, but I think it was like a side pokey. I think a steady side pokey for the whole.
It wasn't a Len has to go wash his hand type of situation.
Scratch and sniff.
Or standing in your driveway, you're like,
you know, what pervert came up with the scratch and sniff? It's a pervert. You don't use your finger and then go in with a sniff. Mm-hmm. No, Andy.
I might have to. I think that seems to be the theme of the episode. I may have to work that into the title when I name this one. Something to do.
Scratch and sniff.
Yeah.
All the things that they could have made, pickles and ice cream, and the things they could have made scratch and sniff.
In the same vein as the magic beans, something that's going to gag you, like when you're scratching. You never know. It could be a pleasant smell. It could be something that like turns your stomach. Yeah,
people would be more attracted to the unpleasant smells to see how accurate they were.
Patent pending. I mean, we can We could make some money on this.
Yeah. Oh, rotten beaver.
Oh my God. It does smell like a rotten beaver. That's what I
This smells like Ron, the math teacher.
I knew they were going to make the sticker.
Look what they're doing to Ron. Look what they're doing to him. You want to know what 9 times 9 is, motherfucker? Well, that's how many strokes you're going to get.
81.
81. Count them off, Ron. Count them off. Don't be cutting corners either.
2. 3.
Oh, yeah.
I knew this was going to happen.
That's enough. You leave Ron alone.
Yeah. So, so we're skipping the funny news today because I'm fucking sick of funny news.
Fucking news. We've been on an hour. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah. Len and I are both traveling this weekend, so he's going his way. I'm going to Florida. My Florida trip. Yeah. And yeah, that'll be fun.
Yes, you're gonna have a great time, Andy. Yes. Bring Snebble along. You can do the shirt. You can do the shirt tears. You leave Snebble alone. I'm sorry, Andy. You could conclude. Ron, the math teacher.
It's all over.
Yep. Goodbye, Andy. Go fuck yourself.
You know,
fuck you, Andy.
Fuck you, Len. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Fuck you.
Unless we get a wild hair and decide to do a show next week. But we're summer schedule every 2 weeks. We'll see.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll see if I survive this trip. We'll see if Len survives his trip. Then we'll meet up and discuss our trips. Hopefully there's nothing funny or newsworthy to put from on either one of ours, because I just don't think I could take it at this point.
Scratch and sniff. Scratch and
sniff. Smells like a nip.
No, fucking Ron.
Now the world knows what a nip is. I mean, that was a class of 96-ish joke. Now the world knows.
Nose in poop. It was named before it was abbreviated, but it worked out perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
you too could have one.
You think differently every time you hear about Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Oh, Jack Frost would love to nip at your nose. The 2-man saw.
So, yeah, that's it. Fuck it. Let's go. We've talked long enough.
Yep.
Go buy some swag and shit so we can.
Yeah, check out the swag. Get yourself
get yourself a shirt.
Yeah.
I've looked to see that we've had 0 female viewers over the last month or so. So, there's bikinis on there for the guys, I guess.
Yep. Jingle them jewels.
Yeah. And men's swim trunks. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
fuck
piss
this.
off.
All right.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, Len.
Fuck you, Andy.
Everybody at home, thank you for watching. Fuck off. Thank you.